If you feel like your life is passing by in 30-second videos, then this is for you. I recently read a book called Make Time, and the whole idea of that book was very simple. Your attention is your life, and if you don't design your day intentionally, then your phone will do it for you. And I realize that most of us aren't tired. We are overstimulated by fast and cheap dopamine. That's awful. And that affects a lot of areas in your life, from relationships, your goals, having anxiety, having depression, being tired, and of course, wasting your whole day without even noticing. I was also a victim of doom scrolling and social media addiction, so that's why I'm here. As you guys may know at this point, I used to make videos about things that I learned and my mistakes, so you don't make the same mistakes. So today I will share with you the 7 habits that made me stop doom scrolling and my phone addiction. Point number 1, silence the noise before it controls you. Easy, right? Turn off your notifications. Every notification you have is someone else deciding what deserves your attention. And attention is expensive. If it's not a real emergency, of course, it doesn't need immediate access to you. When I'm working, when I'm reading, when I'm focusing in my stuff, when I'm working on Etsy, my businesses, whatever, when I'm recording right now, I always have my phone on focus mode. Pretty sure that all smartphones nowadays have that setting. What I personally do, I have a custom mode called work. And for work, I used to silence all apps, all people, pretty much everything. The only thing I will allow is my income calls. Why? Because I know that people will call me just if that's an emergency. Like my mom, my boyfriend, or my friends don't call me because they know that I don't like calls. I don't like to spend a lot of hours talking. So I just told everyone, do not call me if it's not a super important emergency or something that needs my immediate attention at that moment. Otherwise, of course, I will get mad. So step number 1, super easy, super basic. Use focus mode on your phone. I'm pretty sure that everyone and every smartphone nowadays have that option. So just use it for your purpose, and also it's free, so no excuses. Point number 2, catch the scroll pattern. So before you stop doom scrolling, you actually need to notice when you do it. So do you actually scroll when you wake up, when you feel bored, when you are avoiding something hard that you don't like for example studying, or because you feel lonely? You need to think why, because there's always a reason behind it, right? We're not doom scrolling just because of the sake of doom scrolling. There's always a reason. Me, for example, I noticed that I used to doom scroll a lot when I wake up. And thinking about why I doom scroll when I wake up, because I am just like a zombie. Like, why I will do that the first thing in the morning? And that's actually the reason, because I'm like a zombie, right? So that's like my way to wake up my mind. So whenever I wake up and I feel like a zombie because I still sleepy, the first thing I will do is to take my phone just to see what hour it is or whatever, and then I will start doom scrolling because that wakes me up. And that makes sense because it's fast and cheap dopamine, so of course it will wake up your brain faster. So I found out that that's the main reason why I used to doom scroll a lot in the mornings. And yes, it really helps me to wake up faster, but it's definitely not the best way to do that. I know, I'm still working on it, but the first step is notice why and when you do that, so then we can change that later. So now that I'm conscious about that, I know that first thing in the morning I will start doom scrolling. Now I usually stop and I say, okay, I know that I will start doom scrolling and that's not what I want to do. So if I want to wake up faster instead of doom scrolling, what I can do? So now I'm trying first thing, see the sunlight. If there's not sunlight outside, then you can use just a LED light. Honestly, whatever thing that's light, that will immediately wake you up. Then I will make a tea, or I will start, focusing on some tasks and that stuff, or maybe just text my mom or my friends first thing in the morning and avoid doom scrolling that way. And that's it. You just have to notice when you do it and change it for something else. In Make Time, they also talk about choosing a highlight for your day, and that also matters a lot. But how can you actually focus into something meaningful if you are constantly escaping into your phone? Identify your escape moments, why you do that, and change that. Point number 3, make the bad habit hard. This is where Atomic Habits changed everything for me, because James Clear said that if you want to make a good habit, then make it easy. But if you want to break a bad habit, then make it difficult, right? Make it annoying. So how can we annoy ourselves to break that bad habit? How can we make it difficult? So for example, hide your phone. Literally hide your phone. Don't let your phone on the table or places when you can clearly see your phone, right? Like leave it in another room or in a drawer, wherever. Also, delete addictive apps. If you find yourself that your addictive apps are, for example, Instagram and TikTok, because you find yourself scrolling and scrolling for hours on those apps, then of course delete them. If you're also addicted to games on your phone, of course delete those games. Everything that's taking your attention and your life and your hours from you. And I highly suggest you to use apps for that. Like for example, this one which is called 1 Sec. And that app is actually super annoying because it makes you stop whenever you open your social media app. It will show a message like, are you sure you want to invest your time opening this app? Why? Take a little moment and think about why you need to open this app right now, things like that, So of course it's super annoying, but that's the point, right? Because as James Clear said, you have to make that habit difficult and annoying and hard. So if you can't personally delete these apps, then at least, of course, download apps like this one, like 1 Sec, and make it as annoying as possible. Just make scrolling inconvenient because right now is so easy. Point number 4, face the numbers. Check your screen time. Not casually, but seriously this time. And don't take this for granted because it's actually something very important and we just ignore this. It's normal if you sometimes just scroll a little bit or open social media to, I don't know, maybe see your friends' highlights and, interact with your friends, whatever. But if you spend like 6, 5, 8, 10 hours a day on social media or on your phone playing games, whatever, then that's not relaxation, that's avoidance. And that also means that you are addicted to your phone. Yes, of course, it's important to pay attention to this and to notice when you have an addiction into something, or if you are avoiding something important, like why am I avoiding this? Why am I doom scrolling? Why am I playing games for hours in my phone and avoiding my stuff, my work, my relationship, whatever? Why am I doing this? You have to think about this if you want to change this, of course, because as I said before, there is always a reason behind. So we are not 100% conscious about how many hours we spend doom scrolling or on our phones until we do not check the real data, the real numbers. Point number 5, borrow external accountability. This is probably one of the most useful points of this video because this helped me a lot. If you struggle alone, then find someone who calls you out. A friend, for example. If you find me online for hours, then text me. Let me know. Sometimes we just need friction, not comfort. And having a friend annoying you and making you mad and pissing you off because you're being online for hours and texting you or calling you or just telling you, hey, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, is just annoying. And that's the point, because maybe you just can't annoy yourself enough to break that bad habit. But if you have someone else annoying you, then that's different. Before moving to this apartment with my boyfriend, for example, as you may know, I was living with my best friend, Fran, and he was my roommate, basically. So I used him for this at some point. I told him, okay, if I am editing or drawing or reading or doing whatever, and you see that I interrupt that stuff because I'm on my phone for 1 hour or more, then let me know. And if I steal my phone, then take my phone and run away and hide my phone. And that's what he did, right? And I will get mad, I will be so pissed off, I will run after him like, give me back my phone because I was watching something super important, give me just 5 more minutes. But yeah, that was useful with time, because even if I got mad, he will not give me back my phone. And step by step, that's how I got rid of this addiction, and I was able to focus on more meaningful stuff in my life. Point number 6, ask yourself uncomfortable questions. Why are you scrolling? Be honest with yourself. Usually when you have a social media addiction or doom scrolling addiction or games addiction, is because you are avoiding something in your real life that you don't like. Because doom scrolling isn't actually the problem, it's just a symptom, and you have to face that problem. You have to make uncomfortable questions to yourself if you are really serious about this. So just face it. What are you avoiding in your life that makes you waste your life on your phone? So you have to deep dive into that problem, solve that problem first, and of course, breaking that bad habit on your phone will come later. What I find out, for example, my boyfriend used to doom scroll a lot, and when I asked him, why are you doom scrolling? Do you have an addiction on your phone? He was thinking about it, and he told me that the reason why he actually thinks he's doom scrolling a lot is because of his work. So he works a lot of hours a day. He just have 1 free day per week, and he's been into this loop for 3 years, so of course it's so stressful. So that's, for example, his symptom, right? He is so stressed and he's so tired because of work. So his symptom is to escape and avoid that by doom scrolling in social media or games. And my best friend Fran, for example, he is also doom scrolling a lot, and he have social media addiction. And when I asked him, why are you doing this and why are you wasting your time? He have another different reason, and it's escaping from his own thoughts. He doesn't like to be alone, with his own mind, because he doesn't know how to stay calm, and he starts to overthink a lot. We all have a reason. There's always a reason, and usually a deep, meaningful reason. So deep dive into it and think about it and solve that problem. Last but not least, point number 7, practice micro-mindfulness. You don't need to become a monk, okay? You just start noticing. When you reach your phone, pause and take a breath. What am I about to escape from this time? Mindfulness isn't about being perfect or a monk. It's just about being aware of what are you doing right now. Where is your life going? What's your path? What are the things that you are paying attention to? What are the meaningful things into your life right now? Of course, all these practices, all this mindfulness stuff will be super useful to you. If you can just try to, for example, meditate. You don't have to meditate every single day, but meditation is something that will improve a lot of areas in your life, not only for phone addiction, but for your own relationships, for your relationship with yourself, for your thoughts, for your life in general. It's super useful. If you learn to meditate, then thank me later, right? Because you will notice how your life will improve. So if you learn how to meditate, you're basically learning how to master your mind, your thoughts, and your life. If not, then you will let everything else dominate your life, like for example your phone or your relationship or your work or whatever thing that it's not your goal. So just to end this video, remember that your phone is not evil, but it is designed to distract you, and apps are designed to distract you as well, and to keep your attention in their apps as much time as possible using fast and cheap dopamine. And if you love yourself enough, you should never ever allow yourself to be addicted to that dopamine, because it's literally the cheapest and worst type of dopamine. Listen, you don't need motivation, okay? The only thing you need is intention, goals, ambition, and life purpose. That's all you need. Now listen carefully, because here is your favorite part, which is your homework. So for the next 7 days, all I want you to do is just 2 simple things, okay? 1, choose one meaningful highlight every single morning and stick to it. Like, if you choose one highlight, then you have to do that highlight that day. No excuses. And second, put your phone away just for 1 focused hour a day. Just 1, okay? 1 hour, no scrolling, no notifications, okay? Just start step by step. Then next week 2 hours, next week 3 hours, and so. And that's it. See what changes, because big goals always start with small habits, but just be consistent, of course. So let me know down below in the comments what changes and if all these tips helped you in some way. And also let me know if you have maybe more tips or habits that helped you break this habit. Let me know in the comments. I will be reading and answering all your comments. I love talking to you guys. If you like this video so far, if it was useful to you in some ways, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing, because we are just getting started. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.